How's it going, everyone? It's Nathan, Nathan's MRE, and today we're back with something a little bit special. This particular ration is a food packet survival general purpose. Now, this particular one is L2. There was also an L1 version. This is a general purpose survival ration. This is made by the Oklahoma League for the Blind. This is somewhere from the late 70s, early 80s. We're not exactly sure. Now, there's three different styles of these. The late 70s, early to mid 80s, and then in the 90s they changed to a silver can, and then in the 2000s up to 2010 or 11 it was in a cardboard box. We've actually done one of the cardboard box newer ones. It was a very good ration. I'll put a link at the end of the video where you can click on it and look at that video. These will have a lot of cereal bars, stuff like that in it. And this is a spam can which has a key on the bottom. So let's go ahead and take the key off. And let's see if we can open this old dinosaur up. We're going to go and get under it like that. And try to do this pretty straight so it doesn't rip. Looks pretty dark. Doesn't smell that bad. Of course, I've eaten some pretty old, nasty stuff, so it doesn't smell that bad to me. It might be pretty rough to somebody else. So we have Coffee Instant Type 1. It actually still is free. I thought it wasn't at first. So I watched one of Steve's videos right before I did this just to give me a heads up on what's going on. Coffee Instant Type 1 is pre-1986 according to Steve, and he'd be the one that knows. So let's go ahead and keep going here. We have 4 bars all together. So we have the, let me lock that exposure, because if we don't, and we have our new camera, our new GoPro, but we don't have a mic for it. And trust me, the audio is bad enough where you don't want me doing a video without an external mic for that. That being said, we have 4 bars. We have 3 that look like they're all the same here. These are Type 1 cornflake bar, Type 1 cornflake bar, and Type 2 rice cornflake bar. Then we have this other one, which is Type 4 cereal bar granola. So that's kind of cool. We have a package of sugar. Feels a little greasy, but not bad. And then we have our soup and gravy based chicken flavored. Summit, Illinois, Natural Seasoning Company. It feels like it's all free. It kind of smells like, almost like chocolate, believe that or not. So yeah, kind of a cool little spam can. And you're supposed to mix your broth up and put it in the spam can, drink out of it. I'm not really sure if I'm willing to do that. Probably won't do that actually. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this stuff opened up and trade up and see how it is. So as I was bidding on this L2 ration on eBay, the L1, the first part of this went right before me and I got outbid by $1. So in the MRE world, we'll see who comes out with the other can of this. Usually they turn up within a few weeks or a month of getting purchased. So let's go ahead and open up our Type 2. So we got 2 Type 1s. Open up one of those. Open up our Type 2 and then our granola bar. So our sugar and then our coffee, we'll do that. And then our gravy base. So let me go and heat some water for that gravy base and the coffee. We'll be right back. Okay, so open up our coffee first. The coffee is still good. It's not stuck in a big clump. I'll dump that in there. Still smells good. And you can see it's just a real fine powder. This old instant type 1 coffee. And then let's go and open up our cereal granola bar type 4. And none of this stuff has any dates anywhere on it. Even the soup you think it'd be stamped somewhere, but I know coffee type 1's not stamped anywhere. So that's cool. Let's go and open up the granola bar. Should just be able to rip the back of this open, maybe. So these are made so if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you don't have a lot of water, you're not eating a bunch of stuff, and it's not going to make you dehydrated. And that has a weird smell to it. It doesn't smell necessarily bad. It just smells kind of like, almost like meat. I don't know. It's really strange. Really strange. I mean, it has a good color to it. I don't know what that smells. I smelled that before. So this one is the Type 2 rice and cornflake bar. I don't see any holes in any of these. Everything's still sealed very well. They're a little hard to open. Which I guess is normal. Better have it like that than falling open in the can. This guy here actually smells pretty normal. It doesn't have the old, nasty, musky smell to it like you think it would. And let's move on here to one of these Type 1 cornflake bars. We'll just kind of go in here like this. Flay it open. The third generation, the one we did the video on before, it was from 2010. And that thing, you know, it had the wintergreen tablets in it. It had a bunch of newer versions of these bars, had chocolate bars. It was very good. And this guy here is the darkest of them all. It doesn't smell that bad. Doesn't smell rancid. This guy here, it doesn't smell bad. It smells weird. I don't know. Maybe some old dates or raisins in that possibly is what's making that smell. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the coffee real quick. And I actually did, I told you last time I ordered a tea kettle to boil water with, and it's not in yet. So we're back to the old leaky measuring cup here. So let's try to do it right this time, and there's no chance of that happening. So we did 16 ounces of water. We have 8 for our coffee. Let's go ahead and stir the coffee up. Put that back there. And then we have 8 more for our soup and gravy base, which may or may not be good. And the pouch feels kind of greasy, but you know, I don't know. We'll see. Let's kind of slice it open and take a little look-see here. I mean, it still looks good. It's still nice and light and still nice and powdery. It smells good. We'll kind of watch it as we dump it in. Didn't see any mold, but it poured out pretty quick, so we'll see. That off to the side. We'll go ahead and use our coffee spoon to give this guy a little stir. I know I haven't put a video out. It's been a little while. It's been probably 5 days, maybe a little more than 5 days. I've been kind of waiting for this camera, but you know, just not going to work out with onboard sound whatsoever. Okay, so this guy's mixing up nicely. I don't see any chunks left in it. It smells pretty decent. You know, none of this stuff has any real terrible smell to it. This guy is the only one that smells a little funny. Let's go ahead and try this Type 4 rice and cornflake bar first. Okay, here. Holy. Try to break a good chunk off of it. I don't know if you can see that or not. It doesn't smell bad. Just looking at it, I don't see any mold or anything in it. So let's go ahead and take a taste. So far, so good. Definitely tell it has like a crisp rice, almost like Rice Krispies in it. No alarming aftertaste. Everything seems to be pretty good. So I think what we'll do is use a little bit of our coffee here to clean our palate. That coffee instant Type 1, it just has a different kind of smell to it. It has an old time coffee smell to it. It's really, really different. Definitely bitter. We have some sugar here. I guess I'll go ahead and open that up and take a look. I use some of that in our coffee. The first time I ever had instant Type 1 was from that 1968 LRP ration from Vietnam. Sugar looks good. And it was definitely a taste like no other. Put a little more in there because she's a little strong, if you know what I mean. Cross-contaminate our spoon. Give that a good mix. Definitely makes that a little easier to take. That being said, let's move on to our Type 1 bar. Set that off to the side so you can see. This is Type 1 cornflake. I don't know if I could break that one or not. Pretty hard. Smells like it didn't hold up quite as good. A little bit. It's not even I always say old library book smell. It's not even that bad. That's a little musky, you might say. A little basement smell to it. Let's go and take a taste and see. Barely buy it. Pretty stale, but not rancid, and that's what really matters. That is definitely a lot better bar than that. And move on to our granola bar, and that was what, Type 2? I don't remember. Let me get the package here. This was the Type 4 cereal bar with granola. So my bad. I think I called this Type 4, but it's Type 2 rice and cornflake bar. So Type 4 with granola. This one's really soft, actually. Almost like a sunflower seed kind of smell to it. Something a little bit off. Quick visual inspection. Let's take a bite and see. Well, so far so good. You always gotta wait a little bit. No. At the end, it's got a little bite. A little rancid nut. I can see nuts in it. I guess what the off smell is. Nuts are a little bit rancid. As you sit, see, after you eat it, you don't notice it, and you sit here 5, 10, 20, 30 seconds past you eat it. Then you get the backlash. As I'm breathing out, my breath smells like it. Yeah, that's probably not good. I think the nuts they're not black yet. They're definitely getting rancid. Ugh. Not at that. At that. It's kind of rough. So, as far as our gravy base goes, I'm looking at it here. It's kind of got some weird floaties going on in it. It doesn't smell bad, but with chicken base, you can't always tell. Salt, dextrose, starch, vegetable protein, chicken fat. The chicken fat is probably what might get you. Well, never gonna know till we take a taste, right? It does look kind of greasy. Tastes fine. I don't know that I'll drink a lot of that and expect that to work out for you, though. But yeah, not bad. Bringing you for a close-up here. Take a look at this granola bar. And you can just see a little discoloration going on right there. A couple little dark spots. Just getting a little bit off. Getting a little past the end of its life, but not totally just rancid and rotten. And this is that rice and cornflake bar. You can see it's actually pretty decent. Probably the best one on here. And the Type 1 cornflake bar, it's just not as flavorful. It's a little more almost sticky, you might say. Almost like a Butterfinger kind of bar. I'm going to come in here to the chicken broth. You can see it's just kind of like all greasy on the spoon. But it tastes fine. Then our coffee. Coffee actually held up very well. So that's pretty much all, guys. That's all for the, I would say, late 70s, early 80s food packet survival general purpose. And this is the L2. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching.